Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. A quick review of the second season of High School Musical, the musical, the series. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So Disney is set to release the second season of High School Musical, the musical, the series on Friday the 14th of May. Now I've been lucky enough to see the first 3 episodes, and I'm going to try and keep this spoiler free. I don't want to be giving away too much stuff. But I'm going to be honest, I really enjoyed this second season that I've seen so far. It just was so much nicer to jump back in, have these familiar characters, and that was the key thing I felt with this show was now we've got all the intros out the way. They were just picking up straight where the last season ended, and we go straight into it. And it's just a lot of fun, you know. You don't need to worry about introducing all the different characters. We know who they are. We know what's going on. And that just kind of instantly just brings you straight back in. It opens with this big number with them all jumping around, singing. It just looks great. They did it like in one take, and it looks so good. The only thing that did get me with this one was the opening credit in like the first few minutes of the first episode was set at Christmas, so they're all in Christmas decorations. They're talking about Christmas, New Year, and obviously it's the middle of May. It's not really the time to be having holiday specials. I can't help but feel like this was supposed to have come out before Christmas last year, so they're able to film the first 2 episodes before all of the pandemic hit. So with that, it's very, very noticeable that in those first couple of episodes, there's loads of people on the screen. They're all hugging, they're all around each other, and in some ways, it looks quite weird because you got so used to seeing everyone so separated, so few more people on screen, and in general you just don't get to have big groups of people together. So it actually felt kind of nice, but at the same time it was very noticeable going, wow, is this like filmed before it or filmed after it? So that is one thing to take into consideration. It was very noticeable then when we went into like the 3rd episode that things started changing because they filmed it later and you got a lot less people on the screen at any one time, a lot more kind of solo performances. It's kind of one of those situations of, you know what's happening, and I think they did a very good job in kind of hiding it, but I think with High School Musical, the series, it's much more noticeable with them being a big ensemble that when they're not together, there's just a lot more solo stuff. And I don't think that takes away too much, but it was just very noticeable, I think, that you could tell that difference of how many people were in those early scenes. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. There's lots of music in here. There seemed to be, I felt like there was more music in these first 3 episodes that we had in the first season. They kind of really be playing up, especially like at the beginning with doing High School Musical 2 songs, because they were kind of expecting to do that rather than doing Beauty and the Beast. And there's a kind of whole subplot going on with the teachers, and that'll probably come into something a bit later on. But I really enjoyed that whole aspect of them kind of switching gears once they moved into Beauty and the Beast. The songs, obviously, we know them so much more. They're so much bigger songs. They're bigger, I think, for them to sing. I mean, I'm just going to say this honestly. You know, the songs from Beauty and the Beast are far superior to anything from High School Musical. And you can really tell that the actors and actresses are really kind of going for it. And I think the song performances are much better. The dancing is fantastic in here. It's also really interesting that they kind of stepped a little bit away from Nini and Ricky, their main love story. There's kind of a whole sub-story going on with her heading off to a boarding school and them kind of playing up on the idea of them being apart, and that's obviously going to cause some issues. But what I did like is they then started focusing much more on the other characters, giving them a bit more life away from the high school. We see a little bit more with the romance between Ashlyn and also Big Red, which is something I really like. You know, they kind of teased it at the end of the first season, and they kind of go all in on this one. And I'm just loving the idea of them kind of playing off of each other and being a much more like normal couple, and kind of, you know, the big things that, you know, matter at that age, and I really like that. We also get to see a lot more of Seb and Carlos, of their relationship, which I think is so great to see that kind of story being told in a Disney Channel, Disney Plus original. Can't help but feel like, you know, at this point now, like with the stories that they're going to be maybe bringing there, it's a slightly toned version down of what we might see in Love, Victor, but I'm really glad it's in there, and I'm really enjoying the aspect of them two coming together. And yeah, I think that just adds to it, and it's not just about, you know, Nini and Ricky, because while that's good, we've seen that 150 times before in every other movie and TV series. It's nice for them to do a little bit different. As I said, we're also seeing what's going on with the other characters as well, and just kind of expanding out the characters, and I think that's definitely a thing. If you enjoyed the first series, you're going to love the second series. I'm all in. I'm definitely going to be in for the rest of this series. Episodes are around about 30-minute apiece, and then kind of got some great songs in there as well. I really enjoyed it. I kind of ended up watching all 3 episodes straight back to back, completely in. Was just like, oh, I've got to wait now a few more weeks till I see another episode. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a dark horse of a show that I kind of picked up when it first came out. Wasn't really expecting to like it, but kind of came a show that I love. And, you know, coming back for the second season, there's just more of it. So if you loved it, check it out. If you haven't checked out High School Musical, the series, do so. Don't go in thinking it's kind of a sequel or anything really connected to that original movie. It's completely separate. In some ways, I kind of wish they gave it a separate name, let it kind of breathe of its own. And yeah, I just really think this is such a big hit. But yeah, definitely go check it out when it arrives on Friday. So if I was to give it a score out of 5, kind of going to go with about 4. Because I think it's got a lot more to go, but there's some great scenes in there which easily could have pushed it up a little bit more. But I really like this show. Can't wait to watch it every single week, and obviously we'll be talking about it on the podcast and doing reviews on the website as well. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you are excited about High School Musical, the musical, the series. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.